Welcome to Night Tales Docs, where history whispers, the universe slows down, and every story is told to help you relax, learn, and gently drift into sleep. Close your eyes. Take one slow, gentle breath. And imagine a time before history, before life, before even our planet existed. There was no earth beneath your feet. No oceans stretching to the horizon. No mountains, forests, or birds singing in the morning. Not even the moon watched over the night sky. Only endless darkness, filled with silent clouds of gas and ancient starlight. But from that silence, a tiny spark began a journey that would last 4.5 billion years. A journey through fire, endless storms, molten oceans, frozen worlds, and unimaginable change. Tonight, you'll witness the birth of our planet, the first rainfall that lasted for millions of years, the mysterious moment when life first appeared, the tiny organisms that filled our atmosphere with oxygen, the rise of strange ancient creatures, the age of dinosaurs, the survival of mammals, and finally, the extraordinary story that led to us. So leave the worries of today behind, dim the lights, get comfortable, and let the gentle rhythm of this story carry you across billions of years, as together we discover the complete history of Earth, a relaxing journey through 4.5 billion years.
Your thoughts to become lighter with each passing moment. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to solve, and nothing expected of you right now. As you settle into a comforter, allowable position, let the sounds of this story carry you away, like a quiet river flowing beneath a sky filled with stars. Tonight, we begin a remarkable journey, not through a single country, or a single civilization, or even a single planet, but through the entire story of our home. A journey stretching back more than 4.5 billion years. A journey across unimaginable stretches of time, through silent galaxies, ancient oceans, forgotten worlds, and endless skies. By the time our story comes to an end, mountains will rise and disappear, oceans will be born and vanish, entire species will flourish for millions of years before quietly fading into history. And yet, for now, none of that exists. No earth, no oceans, no forests, no birds singing in the morning, no moon shining in the night, only silence. A silence so complete that the human mind can barely imagine it. If we could travel farther back than any written record, farther than the oldest rocks, farther than the oldest stars still shining above us, we would eventually arrive at a moment when our planet simply did not exist. The place where Earth now travels peacefully around the sun was empty. There were no continents waiting beneath clouds, no blue oceans reflecting sunlight, no gentle rain, no mountains. Nothing that resembled the beautiful world we know today. Instead, there was a universe still in its earliest chapters. Scientists believe that our universe began approximately 13.8 billion years ago in an event known as the Big Bang. Despite its dramatic name, it was not an explosion in empty space. Rather, it was the beginning of space itself. Time began. Space began. Energy appeared. The simplest building blocks of everything around us came into existence. Within tiny fractions of a second, the universe expanded faster than anyone could truly imagine. It was unimaginably hot. There were no stars, no planets, only an ocean of energy spreading in every direction. As millions of years slowly passed, the universe cooled. Tiny particles joined together, hydrogen formed, helium followed. Simple elements drifted quietly through the endless darkness. At first, the universe had no light. Astronomers sometimes call this period the cosmic dark ages. Imagine an endless night, without stars, without moons, without sunrise. Only invisible clouds of gas stretching farther than any eye could ever see. For millions upon millions of years, gravity patiently continued its quiet work. Gravity is one of the gentlest forces in nature, yet over enormous periods of time, it shapes entire galaxies. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, hydrogen clouds began drifting toward one another. Little by little, gravity gathered more gas. The growing clouds became denser, pressure increased, temperatures climbed. Then, one day, a star was born. Not just one, millions, then billions. Across the expanding universe, countless stars ignited like tiny candles in an endless night. The darkness slowly filled with light. Each newborn star became a giant cosmic furnace. Deep inside their glowing hearts, hydrogen atoms fused together. This process released enormous amounts of energy. It also created something even more important: the heavier elements that would one day become planets, oceans, mountains, trees, and even ourselves. Carbon, oxygen, silicon, iron, calcium. Every breath you take today contains atoms created inside ancient stars billions of years ago. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs, the iron flowing through your blood, all were forged in stars that lived long before our own sun was born. In a beautiful sense, we truly are made of stardust. But stars, like all things, do not live forever. Some burn quietly for billions of years. Others live short but brilliant lives. When massive stars reach the end of their existence, they collapse under their own gravity before exploding in extraordinary events known as supernovae. For a brief moment, one exploding star can outshine an entire galaxy. These magnificent explosions scatter newly created elements across space. Clouds rich with carbon, oxygen, iron, gold, silver, and countless other materials drift into the darkness. They become the ingredients for future generations of stars, and eventually, future planets. Without these ancient stellar explosions, Earth could never have existed, nor could life itself. As millions became billions of years, the universe slowly transformed. Galaxies formed elegant spirals. Clusters of galaxies gathered together. Invisible gravity continued shaping the cosmic landscape. Somewhere within one spiral galaxy, far from its crowded center, one ordinary region quietly waited. This galaxy would one day be called the Milky Way, home to hundreds of billions of stars. Among those countless suns, one star had not yet been born. Its story would begin much later, about 4.6 billion years ago, inside a quiet cloud of gas and dust drifting peacefully through one small corner of the Milky Way. Perhaps a nearby supernova disturbed that cloud. Perhaps gravity had simply gathered enough material. Whatever the exact cause, the cloud slowly began collapsing inward. The movement was incredibly gentle. No dramatic explosions, no sudden events, just gravity, patiently drawing countless tiny particles closer together. As the cloud shrank, it spun faster and faster, like a graceful dancer slowly pulling in their arms. At its center, heat increased, pressure rose. The growing ball of gas became brighter, brighter still, until finally, a new star awakened. That star would become our sun, warm, steady, reliable. For more than 4.5 billion years, it has illuminated our world every single day. Around this young sun, enormous rings of dust, rock, and ice continued circling in silence. Tiny grains gently collided, some stuck together, others drifted apart. Again and again, for millions of years, slowly, pebbles became rocks. Rocks became mountains in space. Gravity pulled them together into larger and larger worlds. The solar system had begun taking shape. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, each slowly finding its place around the newborn sun. But among all these growing worlds, one small planet was about to begin an extraordinary story. A story unlike any other we know. A story that would eventually produce oceans, forests, dinosaurs, whales, birds, mountains, cities, and you. But that story must wait until the next chapter. For now, as our journey gently pauses, imagine looking across the young solar system, dust still drifting through sunlight, young planets glowing with heat, the newborn sun shining softly into the darkness. Earth exists, but only as a fiery, unfinished world. Its greatest adventures are still waiting. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture that glowing young planet quietly circling its star. The winds have not yet begun. The oceans have not yet formed. Life has not yet appeared. Everything we know, everything we love, still lies hidden in the future. And in our next chapter, we will witness the incredible birth of our own world. Until then, rest peacefully beneath the same stars, whose ancient light has traveled across billions of years to reach your eyes tonight. Sleep well, and let history continue its quiet journey through your dreams. As you continue to rest comfortably, allow your breathing to settle into its own gentle rhythm. The stars above remain quiet. The universe continues its endless dance, and our journey through time moves forward once again. A few moments ago, we watched a young star awaken deep within the Milky Way. That young star, our sun, now shines softly at the center of a swirling disk of gas, dust, ice, and rock. Nothing is rushed. Nothing happens in an instant. In space, even the greatest transformations unfold with extraordinary patience. Millions of years pass like gentle waves upon an endless ocean. Around the newborn sun, billions upon billions of tiny particles continue circling in graceful paths. Some are no larger than grains of sand. Others have already grown into mountains drifting silently through the darkness. Whenever two pieces gently collide, gravity gives them a choice. Sometimes they bounce apart. Sometimes they break into smaller fragments, but often they remain together. Little by little, the smallest pieces become larger. The larger pieces become worlds. This quiet process continues for millions of years. Every collision adds another layer. Every orbit brings new opportunities. Eventually, one growing world begins gathering more material than its neighbors. This young planet is still nothing like the Earth we know today. There are no blue oceans, no forests, no clouds, no birds flying overhead, no gentle breeze. Instead, its entire surface glows bright orange beneath rivers of molten rock. Gigantic volcanoes erupt almost constantly. Mountains rise, then collapse back into fiery seas. The ground itself never truly rests. Everywhere, the planet is changing. The young Earth is only beginning its long journey. Scientists estimate that our planet formed about 4.54 billion years ago. Compared to the age of the universe, Earth is relatively young, Yet even in those earliest moments, it already carries the ingredients that will someday create continents, oceans, forests, and life itself. Gravity continues pulling more rocks toward the growing planet. Countless asteroids crash into its surface. Some impacts are small. Others release more energy than millions of nuclear explosions. Each collision melts fresh layers of rock. The surface remains an endless ocean of lava. From space, Earth would appear like a brilliant glowing ember drifting through darkness. Its sky is nothing like the peaceful blue above us today. There is no oxygen, no soft white clouds. Instead, the atmosphere is thick with volcanic gases, steam, carbon dioxide, sulfur compounds, ash. The air would be impossible for humans to breathe. Lightning flashes across enormous black clouds. Volcanoes roar without pause. The planet feels alive, wild, untamed. Yet beneath this violent appearance, something remarkable is happening. Gravity slowly pulls heavier materials toward Earth's center. Iron sinks downward, nickel follows. These dense metals gather deep inside the planet. Over millions of years, they create Earth's enormous metallic core. This hidden heart remains unimaginably hot even today. In fact, the center of Earth is almost as hot as the surface of the sun. Around the core, layers of molten rock slowly organize into the mantle. Above that, the first thin crust begins forming, but it rarely survives for long. Fresh impacts shatter it. Lava melts it once again. The cycle repeats countless times. Our planet is still searching for balance. Far above, another incredible event is about to unfold. One of the greatest moments in Earth's history. Scientists believe that not long after Earth's formation, a mysterious young planet, roughly the size of Mars, crossed paths with our world. Today, researchers call this ancient world Theia. For millions of years, Theia quietly orbited the sun. Then, its path slowly changed. One day, after countless peaceful journeys through space, Earth and Theia met. The collision was unlike anything our planet has experienced since. It happened at several kilometers every second. The impact released unimaginable energy. Entire oceans of molten rock were blasted into space. Mountains that had barely formed disappeared instantly. The surface became a sea of fire once more. For a short time, Earth itself may have been almost completely melted. Yet from this tremendous collision, something beautiful emerged. Billions of fragments continued circling Earth. Dust, rock, molten debris, all slowly gathered together. Gravity performed its patient work once again, day after day, year after year, million after million years. Those fragments joined together. Eventually,
Take another slow, gentle breath. Feel your body becoming. Take another slow, gentle breath. Feel your body becoming a little heavier, a little more relaxed. As the story continues, allow your imagination to drift back once more. Not hundreds, not thousands, but more than 4 billion years into Earth's distant past. Our young planet is changing. The endless rain of asteroids has finally begun to fade. Volcanoes still rise above the glowing landscape, but they no longer erupt with the same relentless fury. For the very first time, Earth is beginning to calm. If you could stand above the planet at this moment, you would still see rivers of molten rock glowing beneath dark clouds. The air is thick with steam, carbon dioxide, sulfur gases, and volcanic ash. There is no oxygen, no birdsong, No forests dancing in the wind. No sound of waves rolling onto a beach. Only the deep rumble of a world slowly finding balance. Yet something extraordinary is about to happen. Hidden inside volcanic gases, locked within minerals deep beneath Earth's crust, and carried by icy comets and asteroids from the outer reaches of the solar system, water has been waiting. For millions of years, volcanoes have released enormous amounts of water vapor into the atmosphere. At first, the planet is still too hot for liquid water to exist. Every drop instantly turns back into steam. But time, the greatest sculptor in the universe, continues its patient work. Century after century, million after million years, the surface slowly cools. Temperatures begin to fall, and one unforgettable day, the first raindrops appear. Not gentle spring rain, not a passing shower, but endless rain. Imagine dark clouds covering the entire planet. Lightning flashes across the sky. Thunder echoes over empty landscapes. Then the rain begins. Hour after hour, year after year, century after century, the rain never seems to stop. Scientists believe this incredible rainfall may have continued for millions of years. As the water falls, it cools the molten surface. Steam rises in vast white clouds. Slowly, the first pools begin to collect in low places. Those pools become lakes. The lakes grow larger. They join together. And over immense periods of time, the first oceans are born. For the first time in Earth's history, blue begins to replace fire. From space, the young planet starts to look different. No longer a glowing ball of molten rock, but a world slowly wrapped in deep, mysterious water. It is not yet the brilliant blue Earth we know today. The oceans are darker, hotter, rich with dissolved minerals. The sky above them is still thick with volcanic gases. The sun shines faintly through a hazy atmosphere, casting an orange glow across the restless sea. The moon, still much closer than today, pulls strongly on these newborn oceans. Enormous tides rise and fall across the planet. Some tides may reach heights beyond anything seen in our modern world. The rhythm of water begins, a rhythm that will continue for billions of years. Beneath the surface, Earth itself remains alive. Deep cracks open across the ocean floor. From these openings, superheated water bursts into the sea. Today, we know these places as hydrothermal vents. Even now, they exist in the deepest parts of our oceans. Water heated by magma carries minerals from deep within the planet. These underwater chimneys create strange and beautiful landscapes. In the distant future, they may become one of the places where life first begins. Above the oceans, the atmosphere is changing. Volcanoes continue releasing gases: carbon dioxide, nitrogen, water vapor, methane, ammonia. There is still almost no oxygen. If a human could somehow breathe this ancient air, it would be impossible. Yet for the planet, this atmosphere is exactly what it needs. The Earth is preparing itself, not consciously, not by design, but through the slow, beautiful laws of nature. Across millions of years, the first continents begin to appear. Small islands of solid rock rise above the oceans. They are nothing like today's continents. They are tiny, broken, constantly reshaped by volcanic activity. But they are the beginning of something extraordinary. These ancient pieces of crust will slowly grow larger. They will collide, separate, drift across the planet, creating the endless movement we now call plate tectonics. Even today, the continents never truly stop moving. Mountains rise, oceans widen, new land forms while old land disappears. Earth remains a living planet. Its surface is always changing. Above, The young moon watches silently, night after night. Its bright light reflects across the endless ocean. Perhaps, for the first time, Earth begins to resemble a home. Still empty, still silent, still lifeless, but no longer hostile in every corner. The ingredients are finally coming together. Water, energy, minerals, time, all waiting for one miraculous event, the beginning of life. No one knows the exact moment it happened. No one witnessed the first tiny organism. No photograph exists. No fossil records that first heartbeat of biology. Yet somewhere, deep within these warm, ancient oceans, tiny molecules are slowly coming together. Simple chemistry begins creating something more complex. The building blocks of life are quietly assembling. No grand announcement, no brilliant flash of light, only millions of years of patient change. Nature works slowly, silently, one tiny step at a time. As our journey gently pauses, imagine yourself floating high above this young Earth. Below, an endless ocean stretches to every horizon. Volcanoes rise through drifting clouds of steam. The moon hangs large in the sky. Gentle waves roll across waters that have never known a single fish. No whales sing beneath the surface. No seabirds circle above. Only the quiet heartbeat of a young planet waiting for its greatest miracle. In our next chapter, we will witness one of the most extraordinary moments in the history of the universe. The first living organisms, the tiny beginning from which every tree, every flower, every dinosaur, every whale, every human being, and every living creature on Earth will eventually descend. Until then, close your eyes, breathe slowly, and allow the peaceful rhythm of Earth's first oceans to carry you gently into sleep. Take another slow, gentle breath. Feel the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat. Allow your thoughts to drift peacefully, just as the ancient oceans drifted beneath the young moon billions of years ago. Our journey continues. The world before us is still unlike anything we would recognize today. There are no forests stretching across the land, no birds gliding through the sky, no whales singing beneath the sea, no flowers, no trees, no animals of any kind, only an endless ocean, a restless sky, and a young planet patiently preparing for its greatest miracle. Earth is now nearly 4 billion years old. Its violent childhood has begun to settle. The relentless bombardment of asteroids has slowed. The oceans have spread across much of the planet's surface. Volcanoes continue to breathe fire into the sky, but between their eruptions, moments of calm begin to appear. For the first time, Earth feels almost peaceful. Beneath the dark waters, something extraordinary is quietly unfolding. No one witnessed this moment. No photograph exists. No fossil records preserve the very first heartbeat of life. Its beginning remains one of science's greatest mysteries. Yet, piece by piece, researchers have uncovered clues that allow us to imagine how this remarkable story may have begun. The ancient oceans are unlike those we know today. Their waters are warm, rich with dissolved minerals, and constantly stirred by powerful tides. Lightning flashes across the thick atmosphere. Volcanoes release heat from deep within the earth. Far below the waves, enormous cracks split the ocean floor. From these openings rise towering hydrothermal vents. They resemble underwater chimneys, pouring mineral-rich water into the darkness. Even today, similar vents exist in the deepest parts of our oceans. Around them, life flourishes despite complete darkness. Scientists believe places like these may have provided the perfect environment for Earth's earliest living chemistry. Imagine floating gently above one of these ancient vents. The surrounding ocean is completely dark. No sunlight reaches these depths, yet warm water pours upward, carrying iron, sulfur, hydrogen, and countless dissolved minerals. Tiny bubbles rise endlessly toward the distant surface. The Earth itself seems to breathe. Within these warm waters, simple molecules drift together. Hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, each one ordinary on its own. But over millions of years, countless tiny reactions take place. Nature has no hurry. There is no grand design, only endless opportunities. A molecule forms, then breaks apart. Another survives a little longer. Millions, billions, trillions of tiny experiments unfold across the oceans. Again and again and again. Eventually, some molecules become more complex. They begin forming amino acids. These remarkable compounds are among the basic building blocks of life. Scientists have even created amino acids in laboratory experiments by recreating conditions similar to those on the early Earth. It is a beautiful reminder that the chemistry of life may arise naturally when the right ingredients come together. As millions of years quietly pass, some of these molecules begin joining into longer chains. Others fold into new shapes. Some become surrounded by delicate membranes. Tiny microscopic bubbles appear. Inside them, chemical reactions continue. Most disappear almost immediately. Others survive just a little longer. Nature patiently continues its endless search. There are no shortcuts, only time. Then, somewhere within one ancient ocean, something astonishing happens. A tiny structure gains the ability to copy itself. Not perfectly, but well enough to create another version. For the first time, information begins passing from one generation to the next. The first true ancestor of all life may have appeared. It is unimaginably small, invisible to the human eye, far simpler than even the tiniest bacteria living today. Yet, within this microscopic organism lies the future of every living creature Earth will ever know. Every flower, every fish, every dinosaur, every bird, every elephant, every whale, every human being, all connected to this tiny beginning. The oceans remain silent. No celebration marks this incredible moment. No light shines from the sky. The universe continues exactly as before. Stars burn peacefully overhead. The moon circles Earth. Waves roll endlessly across the sea. Only one tiny corner of the planet has changed forever. Life has begun. At first, life spreads incredibly slowly. These tiny organisms drift quietly through the warm oceans. They feed upon chemicals dissolved in the water. Some survive, others disappear. Natural selection quietly begins its work. The strongest adaptations remain. Small changes accumulate across millions of generations. Little by little, life becomes more resilient. Some microorganisms discover entirely new ways to obtain energy. One extraordinary group evolves the ability to use sunlight itself. Today, we know them as cyanobacteria. At first glance, they appear simple, yet their impact upon Earth will be greater than almost any other organism in history. Floating near the ocean's surface, these tiny cells capture sunlight. Using water and carbon dioxide, they produce food, and as a byproduct, they release oxygen. At first, almost all of this oxygen disappears. It reacts immediately with iron dissolved throughout the oceans. For millions upon millions of years, the sea slowly fills with rust-colored minerals, sinking toward the ocean floor. Even today, Many of the world's largest iron deposits were created during this remarkable period. The tiny organisms continue their quiet work, generation after generation, century after century, million after million years. They ask for nothing. They simply live and breathe. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, oxygen begins accumulating in the atmosphere. The sky itself starts changing. Earth is taking its first great breath. No living creature notices, because there are almost no creatures to notice. Yet this transformation will one day make forests possible, animals possible, human beings possible. Every breath you take today is a gift from these ancient microscopic pioneers. Without them, complex life could never have evolved. The Earth itself has become a partnership. The oceans shape life. Life reshapes the atmosphere. The atmosphere protects future generations. Everything is connected. Everything influences everything else. The young moon continues to rise each night. The tides continue their ancient rhythm. Volcanoes still glow in the distance. Rain still falls from dark skies. But now, something entirely new exists upon this world. Life. Fragile, microscopic, almost invisible, yet unstoppable. Given enough time, it will transform an empty planet into one overflowing with forests, coral reefs, insects, birds, dinosaurs, mammals, and eventually, us. As our journey gently comes to rest for tonight, imagine yourself floating high above the ancient Earth once more. The oceans stretch endlessly beneath soft moonlight. Far below the surface, invisible microorganisms quietly continue their patient work. They ask for no recognition, no reward, only time. And time is exactly what the universe gives them. Close your eyes. Listen to the peaceful rhythm of the waves. Feel the calm movement of the tides. Somewhere beneath those ancient waters, the first chapter of life has quietly begun. And in our next journey, life will slowly become more complex. Tiny cells will learn to work together. New forms of life will appear. The oceans will become filled with strange and wonderful creatures, unlike anything the world has ever seen. Until then, rest peacefully, sleep deeply, and let the quiet beginning of life carry you gently into your dreams. The Great Oxygen Revolution, when Earth learned to breathe. Take a slow, peaceful breath. Let your thoughts become lighter. As we continue our quiet journey across billions of years, allow your imagination to drift once again above the ancient Earth. Far below, the endless oceans gently move beneath the soft light of the moon. Tiny waves rise and fall in a rhythm that has continued for billions of years. The world is still silent. There are no forests, no birds singing in the morning, no fish swimming through colorful coral reefs, no towering dinosaurs, no humans looking toward the stars. Only microscopic life, invisible to the naked eye, patiently changing the destiny of an entire planet. Millions of years have passed since the first tiny cells appeared in Earth's ancient oceans. Generation after generation, these simple organisms continue to multiply. Some disappear forever. Others discover new ways to survive. Nature never rushes. Every small improvement is carried into the future. Slowly, very slowly. One remarkable group of microorganisms begins spreading across the shallow seas. Today, we know them as cyanobacteria. Although they are incredibly small, their influence will become greater than mountains, greater than oceans. perhaps greater than any other living organism in Earth's history. Each morning, as sunlight reaches the surface of the ancient sea, these tiny cells quietly awaken. Using nothing more than sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide, they create food for themselves. In the process, they release something the Earth has almost never known before: oxygen. At first, this oxygen does not remain in the atmosphere. Almost every molecule immediately reacts with iron dissolved throughout the oceans. Across the ancient seas, iron slowly begins changing. Layer by layer, rust-colored minerals settle gently onto the ocean floor. These remarkable deposits continue growing for millions of years. Even today, many of the iron ores used to build our cities originated during this extraordinary chapter of Earth's history. The cyanobacteria continue their work. They ask for nothing. They simply absorb sunlight and quietly breathe oxygen into the sea. Generation follows generation. Century follows century. Million follows million years. The process is so slow that no single organism could ever notice the transformation taking place. Yet, when viewed across hundreds of millions of years, everything changes. Eventually, the oceans can no longer absorb every molecule of oxygen being produced. For the first time, free oxygen begins collecting in Earth's atmosphere. The sky itself starts to change. Scientists call this remarkable transformation the Great Oxygenation Event. It may be one of the most important moments in the entire history of life. Without it, complex animals, forests, birds, dinosaurs, and human beings could never have existed. Yet, for many of the tiny organisms already living on Earth, oxygen is not a gift, it is poison. Many ancient microbes evolved in a world completely without oxygen. Their cells cannot survive its presence. As oxygen levels slowly rise, entire populations disappear. Some retreat deep beneath the Earth's surface. Others hide within oxygen-free environments where they still survive today. Earth experiences one of its very first great extinctions, not caused by an asteroid, not by volcanoes, but by life itself. One form of life quietly transforms the planet, making it difficult for another to survive. Nature is always changing. Every ending becomes the beginning of something new. As oxygen continues filling the atmosphere, another extraordinary transformation begins high above the Earth. Some oxygen molecules combine together, forming ozone. Far above the clouds, a thin protective blanket slowly surrounds the planet. This invisible shield blocks much of the sun's dangerous ultraviolet radiation. For billions of years, life had been forced to remain protected beneath water. Now, the surface of the Earth is becoming safer. The future has opened. Deep within the oceans, life also continues becoming more sophisticated. Simple cells begin working together. Some cells discover that cooperation is stronger than isolation. Instead of living alone, they form partnerships. One cell produces energy, another protects the outer membrane, another stores information. Over enormous stretches of time, these partnerships become permanent. The first complex cells, known as eukaryotes, appear. Inside them, a tiny structure called the nucleus protects genetic information. Other specialized parts help produce energy. These new cells are far more complicated than their ancient ancestors. Although still microscopic, they represent another giant step toward all future plants and animals. The pace of change remains incredibly slow. Millions of years pass between major events. Imagine watching an entire mountain slowly rise, one grain of sand at a time. That is how evolution often works. Patient, quiet, persistent. Earth itself also continues changing. The continents slowly drift across the planet. Volcanoes reshape the landscape. Mountains rise from the sea, others disappear beneath it. Nothing remains still for long. Then, another astonishing event unfolds. The climate begins cooling, perhaps changing volcanic activity, perhaps falling carbon dioxide levels, or several factors working together, gradually lower Earth's temperature. Ice spreads across the poles, then farther toward the equator. The oceans begin freezing. Eventually, much of the planet may become covered in ice. Scientists call this period Snowball Earth. Imagine looking down from space. Instead of deep blue oceans, a brilliant white world reflects sunlight back into space. Glaciers stretch across continents. Frozen seas reach almost to the equator. The Earth appears peaceful, silent, sleeping beneath a blanket of ice. Yet beneath that frozen surface, life continues. Protected within pockets of liquid water, near volcanic vents, and beneath floating ice, tiny organisms patiently survive, waiting, as they always have. Eventually, volcanoes release enormous amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Over millions of years, the greenhouse effect slowly warms the planet once again. The ice begins melting, the oceans awaken, rivers flow once more. Earth takes another gentle breath. Life emerges from its frozen refuge, stronger than before. Evolution has once again endured. As our peaceful journey nears its end tonight, imagine standing above the ancient Earth one last time. Below you, the oceans sparkle beneath the rising sun. Invisible microorganisms continue filling the atmosphere with oxygen. The sky slowly becomes bluer. The air slowly becomes richer. The world is quietly preparing for something extraordinary. Very soon, life will no longer remain microscopic. Tiny organisms will join together. Soft-bodied creatures will appear. The oceans will become filled with strange and beautiful animals, unlike anything ever seen before. The greatest explosion of life in Earth's history is approaching. But that is a story for our next journey. For now, allow your breathing to slow once again. Feel the calm rhythm of the ancient oceans. Listen to the quiet whisper of the wind across a young and changing world. The Earth has learned to breathe, and with every gentle breath, the future grows a little brighter. Close your eyes, relax your mind, and drift peacefully into sleep, knowing that every breath you take tonight is connected to tiny organisms that lived billions of years before the first human ever walked the Earth. Sleep well, and we'll continue our journey through time in the next chapter. End of part 5.